All right, hello everyone. It is Brenda here for Stamplicity, and it is What's Up Wednesday. All right, so tonight we're going to focus on the new collection Serenity from Uniquely Creative, and some of the kind of specialized products they came out with this line, coordinated products. So I'm just going to get myself kind of situated here and get my camera focused here. And we should be good to go. All right, so I'm just going to wait for people to jump on. And I'm going to get my technology going here. How's the weather, everyone? I think it's, I don't know. We left today from work and it was snowing, so I'm not sure if we're getting the freezing rain. They say it's a 50-50 chance of what we're going to get today, or tonight and tomorrow. So I know areas north of us are going to get a little worse than us. So, okay. Hello. All right. I think we're good now. All right. So like I said, we are going to focus on this new Serenity line from Uniquely Creative, which is an absolutely beautiful line with beautiful purples and sage greens. So I am going to just kind of show you the 12 by 12 collection. Of course, we have this in stock as well as the 6 by 6, but I'm going to be using the 12 by 12 collection for some of the elements on my projects tonight. So I'm going to go through the 12 by 12 just so you can have a good look at it and all the patterns that are there. We are going to be using some of the specialty papers in here. And when I say specialty, it's the cutaway papers. All right. So yeah, I heard the north is a little bit worse than where we are. So I know like St. Catharines was getting it worse than us. And then if you go either more north, Burlington and Toronto, it's going to get even worse. So, all right. So this is the Serenity 12 by 12. Of course, on the back part, you are also always going to get that cutaway piece. We're not going to be using that because I don't want to fussy cut them. But look at this beautiful paper. I love this one, and hopefully I will be able to get some layout samples done, not tonight, but in my own spare time. But you're going to get 2 of each of these ones. So you've got that beautiful pattern with the gingham on the back and this lovely floral. This speaks spring, right? With the lilacs. And I'm going to say peonies. There's this one. And then the green stripe. This one. And the polka dot. We have this one here. And we've got a great wood grain on the back. And then there's always the cutaway part. So this one's got beautiful florals. I mean, if you love cutting, that's got lots of goodness in there. But it does have a nice small print of floral on the background if you don't like the fussy cutting. All right. And then it's going to have some specialized papers, these cutaways, which we will be using in one of the projects this evening. So we're going to be using this. This has got a bunch of kind of pockets and such, and tags to go in there. So we're going to be using that, but it does have a lovely pattern on the back side as well. So if you don't use those kind of parts, then you definitely have that lovely pattern on the back. And then on this one here, this is another cutaway one. We're going to be using elements from this one as well. But again, it's got a great pattern on the back, that lovely damask. All right. So, I just wanted to show you that. And of course, it's the 6 by 6 is going to be, very similar to that, just smaller format. All right. So now there is a bunch of coordinating products that go with this. Of course, they have the creative cuts, which we will be using. The vellum cuts, I think we'll be using this evening as well. What I really wanted to focus on is we're going to be using the new Serenity Slim Line Fold Out album. So this is an album that is already kind of like cut and scored for you. You just have to decorate it. So I thought I'd show you how quick and simple it is to create this little folio album. Really, really sweet. So if you have to create a nice little gift for someone, or you want to recognize a special event that has happened, wedding, baby shower, wedding shower, anniversary, just a day out, with your friends. I mean, this is a nice way of doing it. So this is already cut and scored for you. So on the back side is going to be that lovely kind of floral pattern. All right. With the gingham on there. Okay. And then on the inside is going to be that lovely sage green on there. Everything is cut and scored for you. They've given you some enough area there if you're going to be adding some dimensions in the inside of these ones. So it's kind of foolproof. So we're going to be decorating that in a bit. So hang tight, all right, on that. Before we do that, though, I really want to kind of focus on this lovely die that kind of came out with this collection. It's not exclusive to this collection. It's going to be just one of their metal dies from their standalone dies. But I love this one. And this is the pop-up box card maker. So I wanted to show you how easy this is. And the retail price on this is really, really well. Like, I want to say it's around the $20 mark. Sorry, I don't have the pricing on here. I always buy a teacher's kit from Uniquely Creative of their upcoming release. That's why it says sample only, because I get a kit from them so I can do samples and do demos with it. So this is my demo one. But this is the pop-up box card maker. So we're going to do a pop-up box. These ones will fold flat, and you can put it in an envelope to send it in the mail. It all depends on how much stuff you put in there. All right. So I am actually going to be using some kind of guidelines from Uniquely Creative to create this, but I want to just show you this here. This was actually supposed to be a little make and take. They sent me the directions for this, but of course I'm going to do my own thing with it. But this is something that we're going to create. This lovely little, thank you, Kathy. See, Kathy knows. Kathy's the one that probably received and priced it, so that's why she knows. $18.99, which I think is a really, really great value. So here is kind of what we're going to be creating. It's going to create one of these lovely pop-up boxes. Like, who wouldn't want to receive that? All right, like these are special cards, right, for those special people. So we're going to create something like that this evening, and then we'll move to the folio. So let's get started. Now, I've never made the box itself from this die, but I've made these pop-up boxes before, so I'm hoping they go together basically the same way. So I've done some prep work already. So I've taken the die. Well, let's talk about the die. Let's open this up. Maybe I can open it up. It's really stuck in there. All right. Okay, so there is going to be the main die. All right, so I'm going to pull this out. So this is going to be your main die that's going to create the box. And what you do, you need to cut 2 of these. All right, so I've already taken the liberty of doing that and cut 2 of these just out of white cardstock. All right, so this is not my normal white cardstock that I normally use. I just found a scrap in my scrap bin of white that I was able to put cut 2 of them. So it's not super heavy, but we're going to be putting cardstock pattern paper on there. So I'm not worried about the stability of it. All right. So you need to cut 2 of those. All right. So it's going to do the proper cut. It's going to do the cut that needs to be here for the flaps, and it's going to put all the score lines on there as well. So, which is wonderful. That's your main one. And then it's going to have 4 little inserts, all right, in terms of squares. And these are the decorative elements that you can use to decorate the outside of your box. I love that they give you options, all right? They just didn't give you a plain square. No, they gave you more. So we have the plain square that you can cut out of pattern paper, and that's going to frame onto those little quadrants nicely. They gave you the option of a rounded square, all right, so the corners are rounded. They gave you the option of a stitched square. And they also gave you the option of the tiny scallop, which is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use that one on the outside. I am going to use one of the other ones this is for the flaps. This is going to be for the base. All right. So I love the fact that they give you options for these. If you are a scrapbooker or a journaler, these are also wonderful to cut your pictures in these shapes because of the sizing of this as well. But like I said, this is jam-packed die for what you pay for it. All right. So, and then finally, the last die that's in is going to be this piece here. And these are the little insert strips for the inside of the box. All right. So, and you would put a maximum of 3 of them in your box. You can do 2, you can do 1. I wouldn't do any more than 3, and it cuts 3. So when you do cut that, it does put the score lines on there as well on either edge. I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up, but that does, all right? So I have 3 of those cut in the same white that I did my boxes, all right? So I've done the preliminary work of that, so I'm just going to put that to the side. I've also cut 3 little scalloped squares, and these are going to go on my flaps, and you'll understand that in a bit, all right? So I've just cut 3 of them. I've just used one of the pattern papers from the collection. This one's got that little dot on there, so I could have done the gingham on the back side, but I just used the polka dot, all right? So that's what I wanted to bring, a little bit of green in there, okay? So so that's where I've cut that from. But then I thought the rest of the cutting I would do online, all right? So I'm going to be using this damask pattern. And the reason why I'm using this one is because I need some of these elements for the folio. So I just thought we might as well just cut from this one here because I'm not going to do any of this fussy cutting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut... I'm going to use the creative cuts for this, so I'm just going to cut through this, and I'm going to use this piece here. And let's go ahead and cut. I'm going to cut 4 of the squares, and I think I'm going to use the rounded corner for this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut 4 of these, and I think I'll just bring in my little scout, because it's smaller for camera. All right, so this is not going to go through. I should have cut this a little bit smaller, but let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. All right, so let's cut 4 of these ones really, really quickly. It helps if I have my top plate. All right. All right, so I'm just going to look at comments now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday. I know some of you already have this collection in your hands. It is absolutely stunning. And I'm not even a purple girl, but this is a beautiful line. You know what? This Uniquely Creative, it rocks it out of the park. Every month. I cannot wait to order the next release. It is absolutely stunning. If you like color, you're going to love the next one. So that's all I can say. I get to order that next week. So Uniquely Creative releases the first of the month. So we are able to put our order in on February 20th, which is actually the 19th because they're Australian. So I can usually order it on the 19th because they're already on the 20th when I go ahead and order it. So sneaky of me, right? So okay, so I've done that. Let's start putting this together. All right. I gotta stick these back on because I'll lose them. All right. Let me put that to the side. All right, so I have my 2 base plates or base pieces. Then I've cut 3, and I could have done 4 of these ones, but one is going to be the back of the card. So I am just going to leave it blank so I can put signage on there. You can cut 4. It is beautiful. Yeah, it is really stunning. I'm just saying. Yeah, tease. I'm going to tease you away. Yep. And then I have the 4 other squares here. I also have a piece of acetate here, which I'll talk about in a second. But let's put this together. And I'm going to use, you're going to want to use a really good double-sided tape. Now, in my tape runner, I have the Ultra Strong Permanent in here. So I'm good with this one. If you just have the regular red refill in here, then I suggest that you use a double-sided tape adhesive. Something, either the Suquang, the Be Creative, Lawn Fawn one of these double-sided tapes, all right? So I'm going to start. Now, when I do this, I am going to all All right. I'm going to have the tabs so that they are at the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on one of the tabs. And then I'm going to take my second piece, and the tab is on the right-hand side. All right. And we're going to line them up. And you just don't want to go past the score line. All right. So I'm just going to line that up as best I can. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and score these now. All right. Or fold these ones along the score line. You can fold them before you adhere them. I don't know. I just like to have it in all one piece. All right. So I've kind of scored them mountain folds. You really want to use a bone folder. My bone folder is not where it should be. All right. Where is it? I don't know where my good one is, but we'll grab the secondary one. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my bone folder and just crisp up those folds, all right? And this is why I should have used the other one, because this is not great white cardstock I grabbed because it is cracking on the edges, but that's okay. All right, so I've done that. They've all folded in, and now you can see that it's going to create that box. Now, I'm not going to make it into a box quite yet because I want to decorate it first. So that's where the box is going to be. Now, I'm going to lay this in front of me again. Again, I'm going to lay it so it's the good side up with the tab on the right-hand side. And what I'm going to do now is fold all these down on the score line because these are going to be our little box flaps that fall down. All right. So fold them down. And I'm just giving them a little crease with the bone folder. All right. So that is where we're going to put, pattern paper, and then we're also going to pattern paper on 3 of these. All right. So I'm going to start with the ones that we have the 4 for, which is going to be my rounded. No, sorry. They're going to be maybe I should have cut. I don't know. We're going to put these purple ones on the bottom. All right. So we're just going to frame these in, and they are cut so that they will have a nice white edge on there. Oh, I know what I was going to do. That's why I only cut 3. Yes. Now I know why. So I'm just going to frame these in. Now, if you have a pattern that is directional, you want to make sure they're going all the right way. But this one here is a damask, so I really don't think it really matters. All right, so let's just stick them on. All right, so now we have those. I love that little rounded square. That's a nice little addition. All right, so those are there. And then we're going to put these ones on, and I'm going to then I'm not going to do anything on the first one, and I'll explain why. In a bit, we're just going to put these little scalloped ones on the first, or the second, third, and fourth one, all right? So again, we're just going to center them in. You can put them all on if you want, on all 4, but there's a reasoning behind what I'm doing here. Clickety click click. That's my adhesive runner. Okay, so those are it. So now, all right, so we have them, and now you can kind of see our little exploding box. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. So what I'd like to do is I like to flip it to the back side. All right. I'm going to flip my little tab to the front, and I'm going to put adhesive, and you're going to put adhesive on the tab and not off the tab like I just did. Okay. And then all I'm going to do is then fold this over and connect them. All right. Because we've already scored and folded this, so this way it's going to lay flat and it's going to create that box. All right. So hopefully that made sense. And then I usually will fold it back and forth just so that it will know it's got to fold flat and such. All right. So there is our lovely exploding box. So far, so good, right? Pretty simple to do. Okay. So the little strips here are the strips that you are going to have all that scenery on, all right? So if I show you that picture again, you can see the layered scenery, and they need something to adhere to. So that's what those little strips are for. So on each of them are score lines, like I said. So you're just going to fold them away from you, all right? They are maybe about, I don't know, they're not a 1/4 inch, they're not a 1/2 inch, but you're just going to go ahead and fold them away from you. And this one did not put the score lines on so nicely. This one's okay. Maybe it's just my eyes. All right. It's there. It's just very faint. All right. Well, we're just going to. All right. All right. So now I have them. And now what you're going to do is you're going to put adhesive on those little tabs, and they will fit from end to end on the sides. And you're going to put a kind of a 1/3 of the way in there. All right. So I will explain that just a little bit better. So I put adhesive on the sides. This is where double-sided tape might be a better option. All right. And my back side is the one that's blank. I'm going to bring this maybe a 1/3 of the way up from the back side, and I'm going to butt up the little tabs to the top. You can drop them down ever so slightly if you wanted to, but I'm going to butt mine up to the top, and you're just going to attach them in. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so they're attached on the side of the boxes, and when I fold this flat, they will fold flat as well. All right, so I'm going to do that on both sides to make sure they're adhered. All right, so that's one. And let's put our second one in. The more you do these, the easier they become. Some people will put these little inserts in before they close up their box, like, and to make it a box, but I find it easier just to put them in. This way I know I can get them straight and they're adhered well. All right, so there's my second one. And again, I'm going to just kind of fold that back and forth, put a little pressure on the contact points there. And now we have the second one on. And then let's do our third one. So I always start from the back. That's just me. You can start from the front. Doesn't matter. And this one here. Now this one, when you put it in, you don't want it right at the front. Again, I'm keeping my spacing about the same between the inserts. Okay, and again, I'm just going to fold it back and forth, give it a little pressure on those contact points. All right, so there are my 3 little insert strips now that we can build our scenery on. All right, quick and simple. All right, so that's what the die does. That's what it's going to create. All right, so we've used all the elements from the die. We've created our base. We've got some of the decorative pieces on there on our flaps, and then we have the inserts on there. All right, so that is what the die does. Now the fun becomes with decorating. All right, so we're going to be using, what did I do with them? They're missing. All right, there they are. Okay, we are going to be using the creative cuts, all right? So these are the die cut ephemera pieces that match this collection. They're going to be very reminiscent of what was the cutaway parts that that I did not use from the back side of the 12 by 12, but I'm going to open this up. There is always so much in these. So let's go through, and you will get 2 of everything, all right, which is really, really nice. There's going to be a mixture of things in here. You're going to have imagery. You're going to have little kind of fillers. The fillers are like the tickets and such. You're going to have sentiment. So I'm just going to sort them out really quickly, and then you can kind of take a look. There's a happy birthday. There's a celebrate today. This one's got fairies in it, bows, flowers, dragonflies, large floral clusters. Then you're going to have banners. All right, so we have congratulations, birthday dreams, heartfelt wishes, little butterflies. I love these packs. And they've changed them up a little bit too. They used to have more of a white edge or border around them. And now when they've cut these out, they get close to the image, which is really nice. All right, what else we got here? We got little fawns, moments that matter. Oh, look at this. I'm not a squirrel lover, but he's cute. Look at that. So cute. Oh, got little lanterns, bunnies. Well, this one's got lots in here. You know, you look at the back and you go, oh yeah, it's pretty. But you know what? It's not until you open this up that you see all the goodness that it has. More fairies, more fairies. All right, guys, you got to have this. Best wishes and more fawns. A little owl, a raccoon. Don't see that very often, a raccoon. Live your best life. More deer. More dragonflies. Ooh, it's going to be fun creating a little scenery here, guys. Just saying, butterflies, dragonflies, butterfly. More fairies, more flowers. All right, I think I'm at the end now. Flowers, little ones. All right, so lots of goodness there, guys. Lots of goodness. So now we're just going to create a lovely little scene. So, and I like to work from the back to the front. So when you work from the back to the front, you always want to have some kind of background element. And this is why I did not decorate this flat, because I want this actually to stand up straight, to give it some stability, to create a background. All right. So that's why I didn't decorate that. So even though we folded that over, my element is going to get adhered past that score line. So it's going to hold that score line up. All right. So for that, I'm going to probably choose a large, floral here. I might actually do 2. Yeah, I think I'm going to do 2. All right. So again, you can go off of the, you can go as high as you want, but the more that you put in there, you got to remember that you got to put this in an envelope. So you've got to make sure you understand that the more you overhang, the bigger the envelope you're going to have to do. All right. I tend to go maybe a little crazy on my elements, but I'm okay with that. All right. So I'm going to start with that there. And I'm just going to glue this down. So again, I'm just going to use my runner here, and let's just start adding these elements. All right, so here is my base. All right. All right, so because my element went past that score line, it's going to stand it up straight now. All right, so, and again, you can use pop dots on here as well. I'm going to choose to go everything flat right now, just because, all right? So I might come back and add a little bit more goodness, you know, maybe a butterfly up here, but I'm going to wait till I have my next layer done, all right? So let's go now with, well, I think that has to be kind of in the front, that stump. All right, let's put a little deer. All right, I think I might have to use glue for this. I'm wondering if I should put one of these little tickets down. Yeah, I'm going to put one of these little tickets down just to give some stability to where the deer is going to go on. This is just me. You really don't need to do, but I'm going to put that on. It's just going to, when I'm gluing the little legs down. And tweezers are your friends, because now you can go in there and do that. All right, so we've got the deer on there, and then I'm going to put the little stump, the next one over on the next insert. And now you're just going to continually build, all right? So if you hold this, you can see the dimension of it, all right? So you're just building that cute little scenery, all right? So now this little deer, I don't want it on the same layer as the big deer. I'm gonna actually glue it behind that stump, all right? So I'm just gonna put adhesive on the legs. So now we're gonna have different layers of dimension on here. This is the fun part. I just love doing this. And again, I'm staying within the dimensions of the box, all right? So I'm not letting too much overhang the edges because we still want it to lay flat, all right? Look how cute that is. All right, I think we need maybe some little mushrooms on, sure. I'm going to finish this one tonight. I'm not going to finish it off camera. I'm going to do it on camera. All right. And then in the front here, I think we need a cute little bunny. Or should we have the... No, we'll put the bunny here. I think we need some florals there as well. All right. So which florals do I want? We have small ones. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim one of these. Maybe I should have put that on the back side. Change my mind. Put it on the back side of the strip. So now we're getting some of that lovely little branches from the florals there. All right. Well, this is turning out super cute. All right, this I'm going to use a pop dot, guys. The little bunny. So I just put a little pop dot on there so it's kind of sitting in front of that little mushroom and the florals. All right, what else? We need to build something behind this deer, and I think I'm going to use that other part of that floral. And I'm gonna, yes, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. So you can go ahead and cut your die cuts as well and make them work for you. Again, you're building a nice little scenery here. So, oh, look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm loving this. And we're going to add some fairies, I think, on this as well. So let me get this little butterfly here. And I think we also need to put a sentiment on here. Moments that matter. Celebrate today. Best wishes. Oh, maybe the best wishes there. I don't want to spend too much time making decisions on this because I do want to get to that folio. So I'm just going to commit. All right. I do want to show you how to use the acetate pieces in there and have floating elements. So, all right. So let's just put best wishes down in here and I pop that up. I am going to take this butterfly and kind of cover up that white area here. And I'm just going to kind of mix it in with the florals there. I am going to put a pop dot behind it though. The pop dots I'm using are a thin profile one, so they're not going to stand out too much. All right, so we've got that cluster there. What else do we want? Maybe another floral. Okay, let's do some acetate little pieces and add some fairies, I think. All right, so what kind of fairies do we have? Do we have any flying fairies? This one looks like it's flying. Yeah, that one's cute. All right, so let's do that one. And then, oh, this one's a smaller one. Maybe we'll use a smaller one. And let's use, this little one is sweet as well. I don't know if we can incorporate that one. Okay, let's do the flying. We'll do a butterfly that's in there, and as well as the the little flying fairy here. So I'm going to put this kind of in this area, but we want to make her kind of floating. All right, so that's where the acetate is going to come in place. All right, so you don't need a whole lot, but you do just want to cut these kind of, I would say, 1/4-inch strips. I wouldn't go 1/8. That gets a little too skinny. And of course, you should probably use your paper trimmer because then you get nice straight ones. I just hand cut it. But if you use your paper trimmer, it's going to be so much better. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the end of this. And then I'm going to position my fairy on there like she was flying. All right, so she's flying in the sky, right? So there is that. Make sure none of the adhesive is over extending off the acetate. All right, and then this now we can glue behind, and if I can get there. And it's just gonna look like she's floating in the air now, all right? Because the acetate is kind of like invisible, right? So I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive on there. So much fun. Like, who would not want to receive this, right? So then I'm just going to put that down. Give it a little burnish. All right, so now our little, she's flying. All right, so there is that. And let's do another butterfly. Where's my other acetate piece? See, I lost it. It's invisible. I'm gonna have to cut another piece. And we're gonna do a little butterfly this time. Yeah, I don't see my acetate. I'm just gonna cut another one. Again, I'm just going to be about like a 1/4 inch in width. And I put way too much adhesive on there, so I'm just going to, oh, that one's I can't use. I put too much adhesive on that, and then I tried to rub it off, and it didn't come off very nice. So maybe if I just put the adhesive here. Again, probably a double-sided tape would be your best bet rather than an adhesive runner. All right, so I have attached that on, and now let's put this kind of behind. Let's go behind the deer here, all right? So I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom of this now. You wanna make sure your adhesive strips are long enough, all right? Don't get them too short, all right? We wanna make sure that they're stuck on those strips nicely. All right, so there. What do you think, guys? How cute is that? All right, so we've got these floating elements on there, right? Like, how cute is that? Really simple to do when you have an ephemera pack with some good stuff in there. All right, so I don't know if I need any more on here. You could definitely decorate the sides here, but I like to have that main focal point kind of in the center there. I think we should have something a little bit here. So what should we put here? Oh, there's a little bow too. I'm wondering if we should put the little bow. Yeah, we'll put the bow there, and maybe not the bow. Maybe I'll just do a floral decisions. This is the big decisions. Floral and a butterfly. That's what I'll do. All right, so then when you're all said and done with this, all right, so there is my cute little box here. This should all fold down flat. So because I've extended it past my, past the outside of my box card, I will need a bigger envelope for this, but not a big deal. But how cute is this when the recipient opens that, right? When they pull it out, it kind of like you can see that it's going to form a box. You're just automatically going to want to do this, and they're going to go, oh my gosh, it's beautiful, right? And then this becomes kind of a nice little piece that they can sit out and then really admire because it's just so pretty. But that is the box card die from Uniquely Creative. I just think it is amazing. Really simple to put together. I love the fact that it's got all the score lines on there. I love the fact that it's got the little framed pieces on there, so you can really make that. I mean, that was quick and simple, right? I mean, that was my first time playing with that die, and I made it look easy, right? But it is really, really simple, all right? So that is the box die, and I'm going to move to the folio unless anyone has any questions. I'll take pictures of this and post them on the Facebook group or Facebook page, so you can see a good look at it and get some close-ups of that, so you can kind of see. All right, so there is that. Well, thank you, everyone. Isn't it so pretty? I know, I'm so proud of myself. All right, I'm going to put that to the side. And now we are going to do that folio. Now, I'm just going to move my ephemera to the top of my mat here, because I'm going to use that. And let's move to that lovely folio. Okay, so the folio, like I said, it comes already cut and scored and such. So that is ready to go. All right, let me just get myself a little better organized here. Now, I am going to use some of the other elements that we kind of showed in this release. So the folios here, I've got the little paper doilies. These things are gorgeous, guys, and there's 50 in a pack. I'm going to show you a unique way of using them. They are a very nice thin paper, so it makes it really nice for layering. All right, so they're a nice layering, and they're not going to be too bulky. But I'm going to show you something really cool that you can do with these. So we're going to use those this evening. I'm going to use the magnets as well. So they came out with these album magnets. They are super thin. All right. So you can see that they are super thin. Oh, I got two there. I got one extra, guys. So they're super thin. They also come with the adhesive tabs to go with them as well. So we're going to be using those as they all just fell together. I'm also going to show you how to use our placeholder photo mats. All right, so we have the 2x3s here, and I also have the 3x4s. I also have the Vellum Creative cuts. These are awesome. I'm going to show you how to use those. And then from one of the 12x12 papers, on the back side, I was showing you that cutaway piece that had all the pockets and such. So I have pre-cut some of them out really, really quickly. So we're going to be using those in here. And I still have lots left. I didn't cut out these ones, but I definitely could to insert them into the pockets and such. And maybe I will do that, but I want to show you how to do the pockets. And I think that is it. We're going to get going on this now. So okay, so from one of the cutaways, the rest of the cutaway paper that we use to do the little squares for our pop-up box on the back side, I want to use this tag. So I'm going to cut that out really, really quickly. We're going to use that in our album. So I'm going to cut that out. They do actually have a tag die, and I've used it before in lives. I just don't know where mine is right now. Otherwise, I would have used it. But it is a fantastic die. A lot of these elements on these cutaway pages will have dies that kind of coordinate with them, all right? So like the little scalloped edge, there's actually a die that you can fit over top of that and it will cut. And what I love is that they normally give you a little bit of playroom in there. So if you put your die on there and you don't have it on perfect, they've got the kind of the whoopsie factor in there. That's what I love about it, right? So if your die moves ever so slightly, you've got a little playroom for that. All right, so there is that. All right, so we're going to start with the tag here, and I'm going to start with those little doilies. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to use this kind of in a different way. Mine are stuck together here. I'm going to need 4 of these, maybe 5 or 6, but 4 for sure. Okay, so what I want to do is I actually want to cut the insides of these out, and it doesn't need to be perfect. No one's going to see this, and we're going to make this kind of into a ribbon trim. All right. So I'm just going to kind of slightly fold it in half and then just cut the centers out. I'm going to do that with 4. No, maybe I should do 6 just to be on the safe side. Okay. Does not need to be perfect. No one is going to see that inside cut. All right. So it can be as jagged as you want, as long as you cut kind of the center out of those doilies. I'm going to do 6. I don't know if I need 6, but better to have them all done. And this is such thin paper, so it's really easy to just cut these little centers out, no problem. So these doilies come in, we have them in the white, and then we also have in pastel colors as well. So the pastel colors, I believe, have the purple in there. They have pink, and so either or are fine. All right, so then what we're going to do now is we're going to then, I'm just going to cut these, and I'm just going to kind of do an accordion fold on these. I'm totally destroying this doily, right? But we're going to make this into a lovely lace trim. All right. So again, it does not need to be perfect like that. There's my little lace trim. All right. So I'm not even going to cut it. I'm just going to, so basically you're just kind of ruffling it. And you're going to do that with all of them. Yes, those doilies are nice as a little trim, but I wanted to show you that, you know what, you can use them in different ways. Okay, now I got to do this really, 2 more. Oopsie, I'm not watching what I'm doing. All right, so there are my 6 doilies all crumpled up. We're going to take my tag here. Now, completely up to you. Normally, I would probably ink the edges of this, but for time purposes this evening, I'm not. You can also rough up the edges as well to give it a distressed look. Again, I'm not going to do that, just giving you options. All right, so I'm going to flip this to the back side, and I'm going to take now, you know what, I'm going to do my double-sided tape here just so I can get it close to the edge. All right. So I'm going to do a run down the left and the right hand side. Okay, I'm going to remove the backing. And then I'm going to take one of my little trims here, and we're just going to start adding it onto my adhesive, all right? And you're just going to just stick it down, ruffling it, smushing it onto that. And you might want to like go to the front side so you can kind of see, but you've got this lovely little ruffled edge on there, this little lace trim. Just a different way to use that doily. All right. All right. I'm going to do that. And you're just, oh, see, I only needed 4. All right. So you're just going to attach that. Now, I can't say this is not my idea. This came from Uniquely Creative, but I just thought it was a kind of a really fun way of using that doily in a different way. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess here, and then we'll do the other side. So just a great way to add a little bit of dimension and some texture onto your projects with something really inexpensive. All right, so now I'm going to just start on the other side and do the same thing. Just kind of smush it right onto my adhesive there. All right, and there is the decorative element. Look how cute that is, right? Like, just really sweet. Now, I'm just going to trim up the top here just to clean up some of that hard edge so it doesn't look like I ripped it. All right, so just clean it up. But look how pretty that is, right? Oh, Ruby, you need to find them now. Ruby lost her lace doilies. All right, so I only need 4 to do that tag. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to attach this into the album. And where should we put this? Should we put it here? Should we put it here? I'm going to put it here. All right, now with that roughly little bit of edging on there, it needs to be popped up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Where is my foam tape? No foam tape, so I'm just going to use my foam squares then. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use my foam strips. That would be the better option. All right, so I'm going to go right over top of where that lace trim is. That's going to hold it in place as well. It's going to look ugly on the back, but that's okay. No one's going to see that. Now I am going to also put a few strips down the center here. And let's go ahead and attach this. Okay, I'm going to put it here just because, or do we want it? Actually, I'm going to put it here. Whoop. And I'm going to put it a little bit closer to the top. I'm going to center it left to right. And I'm going to put it closer to the top because I'm going to build a little scene on the bottom of this. So we have that. And there we go. So now we can go to our ephemera and let's just build. We have the mushroom there. So I'm going to grab that little stump here and I'm going to add that. The decorating is always a fun part, right? So let's do that. So we're kind of incorporating that mushroom from the imagery there. All right. And then I might select some animals to put it on there, but now we have that. And maybe a fairy up here would be cute too. Right? So there's that, and we can put a photo mat there. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put the photo mats in afterwards. But there is just, I wanted to show you how to decorate with that little trim. All right. So let's just move on. So we have that. We could put some photo mats on here. We don't have to go like completely decorative here and cover all the pieces with, see how these photo mats work? So what happens is if you give this to the recipient, right, these little 3x4s, placeholders, then they put their picture in there and it will cover this black line, but you still have that white mat. Now, if you find that's a little too plain behind there, this is a great way to show you how to use the creative vellum cut. So let me grab those. Oh, I got such a mess going on here. All right, again, there's going to be lots in here. I love these because, ooh, that's a good one. And then I'm going to use a couple of these florals. And I'm going to show you how you can build a background with these with minimal effort, all right? So if in case you didn't want, you could put a pattern paper in here, but I'm worried about the bulk because I tend to use a lot of pop dots and all that. So a great way is using these vellum cuts. And the worst part about it is getting them off of the plastic. These are adhesive. They are like stickers. And I always have a problem starting this. I was watching a video. Tracy, the owner, was showing us how to do this. I'm like, you make it look so easy. But basically, you kind of flick the edge with your thumb. All right. And then it almost starts. You can see that it starts. And then if you have nails, then you can just get your nails there. But I have no nails, so I'm just going to grab my tweezers. So as long as you get it started. So basically, these are washi stickers is the best way. So you're going to peel that off. And then when you stick them onto your project here, so I'm going to stick this really close to the score line here and give it a good burnish. It's like it's just part of the background. Actually, I'm going to rip this one right here. And then I'm just going to angle this because no one's going to see that because it's going to be behind the photo mat, right? So at least I hope it's going to be behind the photo mat. All right. Oops, this one ripped off here. And we're just going to apply it back on and no one's going to, but they just kind of blend into the background. And that's what I love about them. All right. Now that looks like it's part of the pattern paper. All right. So for these ones here, because they're going to be covered up with a lot of the photo mat, I will just trim them in half. All right. And again, then you're just going to take your, nope, see that one came off really easy. And now I'm just going to place it again. I'm going to place it really close to that score line without going over that score line. All right. It looks like a mess here, but when I put this photo mat on there, now we're going to have little bits and pieces coming through and just giving it a little bit of interest. All right. Next one. Hi, Bella. How are you? This line is beautiful. It's even better when you can get these little things off. It really isn't this hard, guys. I just struggle with the smallest things sometimes. I have no nails, and my hands are really chapped right now from the cold. I'm going to blame it on that. I had it started. There we go. I guess I should push these out just a little bit more. I'm going to do one. All right, so now we've just got some nice little interest. Actually, I might shift these over just a tad bit. Actually, you're going to take this one. And this is the other thing. These are very forgiving, all right? So, yes, I have this down, but I should be able to pull this up. They're like washi stickers, I tell ya. All right, so if you didn't get it and you want to move it, you can. So I'm going to move this one in this area. So now I'm going to shift my photo mat over here, and I'm going to shift my photo mat over here, and I'm going to get more of that floral, and look how beautiful that is. All right, so let's go ahead and tack these down. Oops, let's bring that down a little bit because I have a little gap there. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. Not going over the score line. All right, so there's my first photo mats there. Again, I would tack them down a little bit better than what I just showed you, but they're there. All right, let's put a little pocket in this here. So I have this one here. Yeah, let's put this one. And we're going to put this on the bottom. Now, when you cut this out, you will have the little angled cuts on the corners, and you'll see that there's a little dotted line on those ones. So you're going to grab your scoring tool, your scoreboard, and then all I do is I kind of line that up on that dotted line, and then I'm going to score it, all right? And that's just going to help with the fold. And then I'll do this one. Yeah, I gotta say, Bella, that they just, you know what? They are very creative. They think of everything. They do have a great design to them. All right, so I've scored them, and now I'm able to fold them back. And now I can put tape on them and then add the little pockets there. Again, I think I'm gonna want one of those little washi tapes behind it just to fill in the little area there. So we have a kind of a floral coming out. And this, I would recommend using double-sided tape, but because I don't have my thin enough double-sided tape handy, I'm just going to use my glue. But I do recommend use your 1/8 of an inch tape. And then I'm going to place that. Okay, I'm just going to hold that down. All right, so now we've got this great pocket that you can put some of those tags from that cutaway sheet that I did not cut out. So I'll do that off camera, but we've got some of these little elements there that you can tuck in. We can put another photo mat up here. What I love about these photo mats, they come in horizontal and vertical. So we could put another photo mat here with the tags there, but I'm not going to do that because I might want to decorate a little bit more, but I wanted to show you how to do the pocket there. All right, so we've got that there. What else are we going to do? I want to show you this little guy here. This becomes a really cute little envelope that you can tuck tags in. So you are actually going to create this into a little envelope. So we're going to do the same thing. We are going to score on the dotted lines. And we're going to make this into a pocket, a different style pocket. The other one was like a side pocket. This one is going to be a full pocket that you can tuck little things in. All right, so again, you're just going to fold them, and again, use your bone folder to really crease these. All right, so then this becomes a cute little pocket now that you can, again, tuck things in. You can put, you can attach that wherever you want. All right, so I'll glue that off camera and finish that up. All right, what else do I want to show you? There's another pocket I will incorporate in here. What else do I want to do? Anything else I really want to show you, or should I just go ahead and decorate? I think I'm just going to go ahead and just add things now. Okay, let's do this other pocket. There is the magnets too, but I think I'm not going to put the magnets in. Well, maybe I'll do a magnetic closure on it. All right, let me just get this other pocket in. I love their paper. It's a great paper. Like, it doesn't break when you score it. So let's do this pocket on the opposite side. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of put it out to the outer edge, but then I'm going to use one of the vellum cuts here. I have it started. They really are not as bad as I'm making them look like, all right? I'm just struggling on camera. That's always how it works. All right. So we have this lovely little branch here. I'm just going to kind of put my pocket in position here where I'm going to be putting it. And then I can kind of position this. And again, I would use 1/8 of an inch tape, but Brenda's being a rebel here and going to use glue. Don't be like Brenda. Okay, I'm gonna keep my spacing the same as the other side. And then I'm going to tack that down and just burnish it so it really sticks. All right, let's go back to this little guy. I'm going to glue this one together. And I'm going to use this as kind of like a removable little element here. Oopsie, I think I put too much glue on that. Oh no, I didn't. Again, I think I would probably ink the edges too because these are fussy cut out. And if you're not the world's best cutter, the ink will camouflage it. So now we've created this cute little pocket. All right. And I'm going to just, you can tuck that in here. All right. And I will decorate that after, but that's going to go in there. And I think let's do a couple more photo mats here, but I'm going to go into the 2x3s now. See what we got here. So again, these little packages here, you're going to have ones that are vertical and then ones that are horizontal. So I think what I will do is incorporate a couple of the smaller ones and maybe a larger one here. Okay, something like that. And I'm going to just tack them down in the center, and then I can go ahead and add in my little vellum cuts underneath. All right. I just want to get kind of everything in place, my photo mats. I can always go back and add a little bit of glue. Okay, and I think on this one here, I'm gonna find another kind of decorative element like this one out of maybe purple paper from the collection, put it on there as well, and then maybe build a little scenery. So we have pictures, and then we'll have pictures over here, and then some tag elements there, all right? So then, what else we got here? I would like then maybe to show you how to do the magnetic closure on here. And then it's going to be all about decorating. So I know like it's past 8 o'clock, and of course I've got another meeting to go to. So I do have to call this almost quits here, but I will finish it off camera. But let's go ahead and put our magnetic closure. There is a little element here. This little guy. So I need to put that magnetic, all right, so. I think I'm gonna have to score this though, just to make sure I have that in the proper spot. So, scoreboard. Don't lose your magnet. So that's going to be about 1/2 inch. So let's do, how big is this? This is like 3.5. So let's do 1.25. I'm going to do 1.25 here and 1.25 there. What will that do? Yeah, that should be good. We're going to go for it, guys. Okay, so this is a little tab. It was a cutaway piece from the cutaway paper, and I just scored it from 1.25 on the left hand or right hand side, and then 1.25 on the right hand side, and that's just going to give this kind of closure here. There will be a little bit more bulk on my album as I enter. Put stuff in there with thickness and pop dots and such, so I think I have enough space in there. So the backside one, this here is, I'm going to adhere this down. This one does not need a magnet. Okay, so this is going to get, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to line that kind of up to the score line there, and then we're going to put a magnet behind this guy here. All right, so I'm going to grab the little adhesives. I stuck the magnet on there, and then I'm going to put the magnet right kind of behind the edge of that, all right? Then, where do I get to open this up now? This is going to go on. This is complicated. All right, so this is going to go on the inside of this one here. So, too many flips and flaps on this one to make sense of this. All right, so I'm going to put my and I'm just going to double check that again. So that's going to be on the back side of the one with the pocket. Of course, I have the pocket in the way. That was not good of me. All right. So, oh, I put the adhesive on the wrong side of this one. Ay, ay, ay. There's a right side and a wrong side to the magnets, guys. So, so what I like to do is I stick them together first, and then put your adhesive on. Learn from my mistakes. All right. All right, so I am just lining this up. Now, if all goes well, that will stick there. My pocket's totally in the wrong spot, but now we have those magnets, and it should. Nope, I gotta bring my magnet in a little bit because it's too far in. Anyways, I will fiddle-faddle with that. My magnet needs to come in a little bit. We got it now. Or you know what? Maybe I'll put the magnet on. I got a better idea. Okay, so I'm going to put the magnet right on the front cover, and that's how they're going to connect. All right, so there we go. Now the magnets are on there. All right, I'll probably cover that up with some a washi sticker. I don't want anything too thick on there, just because the magnets are strong, but they're not super strong. All right, so so there is that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and decorate it, and then I will take pictures of this because I really want to take the time instead of rushing through this, but I want to show how quick and simple that is. I mean, you can add a little bit of those cutaway elements in there. I've done that doily little element there. How to use the washi, not the washi, the vellum creative cuts in the background to create some texture on there. I'm adding some pockets in there, but I'm gonna continue decorating this and really kind of use those ephemera bits as well. And I'm gonna like load this up, and I will take pictures of it. And I'll show you tomorrow morning. I can't wait. All right. So there is that. All right. Sorry, I'm not finishing this up live, but like I said, I do have a meeting to go to. So there is that. And then, of course, my little box, which is missing in action now. I think it fell off my table. But you saw that too. So I'll take pictures of everything. Oh my gosh, I'm a hot mess here right now, guys. I don't know what I did with my box. Card. Aha! It fell off my desk. All right, so there is that. So that is using the Serenity. All of this is available on our website and shop online. And then again, I will take the pictures of my beautiful projects and post them tomorrow morning. All right, thanks for joining me, everyone. And we'll see you next time. All right, take care and stay warm and safe. All right, stay home tomorrow, guys. The weather's supposed to be crappy. So until then, everyone, have yourself a good day. Night.